everybody on your channel.
Hello. So today we're going to be talking about a overview of Disney's Pop Century Resort, which we like to stay at. I think it's going to be one of our favourite resorts hotels. Not too big, it's not too small.
I think one of the main reasons we like Pop Century is because it's in the value category. So we like value.
Yeah. Especially if it helps us to get out there.
Yeah, we'd rather go more and stay in a value than go every now and again and stay in a moderate or deluxe.
Yeah. If we got upgraded free, then we won't turn it down. But no, Pop Century is our chosen choice.
So in the value category, there is All-Star Sports, All-Star Music, All-Star Movies, Pop Century, and Art of Animation. But Art of Animation is more like a moderate in terms of pricing. It is still a value, but it is an upper value. It's somewhere between value and moderate, I think.
Yeah, and it's on the other side of the bridge from Pop Century.
Yeah.
The Hourglass Lake, I think it's called.
So the main reason we've chosen to stay at Pop the last few years is because it's normally only about 50 quid or so a head more expensive than the All-Stars. And the benefit is you get your own buses, whereas the All-Stars...
That's a secret.
All-Stars sports, music and movies, they generally share buses when it's not as busy. And because we always stay at movies because it's the bigger and the newest of the three, and we're always last pick up, last drop off.
Yeah.
So you can be waiting a long time for a bus.
And obviously if the other two resorts are busier, obviously the last one gets missed.
Yeah.
And
the majority of the time you are standing.
Yeah.
Which doesn't matter too much, but when you're standing all day...
I'm walking all day. You know what it's like, guys. So yeah, Pop Century is our choice. We like to stay in the 50s section. Well, I do. I prefer the choice the 50s section, only because it's Lady and Tramp. Lady and Tramp's my favourite.
Yeah, so in the 50s section you've got 3 buildings. So one with a large lady, one with a large tramp, not you, and one with a large jukebox. And they're all really cool. They're all overlooking the bowling pin pool. So swimming pool shaped like a bowling pin. I can't get it right today. So they're overlooking that. The jukebox building we think is probably the better one. Although it is the furthest of the 3, but there's not really much to it. But just because it backs straight onto the car park. So if you've got a car, the car is nice and close.
But I prefer to stay in the Lady with the Tramp one because it's attractive. I like it.
So we stayed in the jukebox one the year before last, and then last year we stayed in the tramp building.
So hopefully, if we go this year, we'll have Lady.
Lady's not too bad. She backs onto the car park as well.
Oh, hey!
So the main section is the 60s. So you've got the main pool there, the hippy dippy pool, like a flower-shaped pool with flowers squirting water into it. And then you've got the 2 buildings there. One is Play-Doh as its main feature, and then the other is Jungle Book, where you've got a 4-storey tall Baloo from Hans and Mowgli.
Ooby-doo. Then you've got the 70s, which you've got the giant Mickey Mouse phone, and then you've got the gigantic bike. Then you've got the 80s and the 90s, which is Rubik's Cubes, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Hang on, that's on, so I can't really see.
You've got a Sony Walkman,
Okay.
and then the 90s is just one building, and it's a laptop. It's a very 90s looking laptop as well.
Yeah.
So, and that also has another pool, and the 80s and 90s share the computer screen pool.
It's very small.
Yeah, it's just a square pool, but we've stayed in the 80s before as well. It is a little bit further away from the main hall. I think staying in the 80s we didn't use our refillable mugs so much, did we?
No.
Because it was that little bit further. Not too far, but it's a long way to go for a drink.
Especially when you've just come back from the parks. We don't carry our refillable mugs round with us all day.
No.
In the parks we just have it to and from. But when it's really late at night and whatever, we just don't want to. So we go to the vending machines and get an ice cold Sprite or a Coke.
We found with the 80 section as well, it's quicker to walk through the car park over to the bus stop rather than back through the resort itself.
Yeah.
Classic hall, the reception area is nice and big.
Yeah.
Minimal queuing really. I mean, we've never been more than 3 people deep in a queue.
Yeah, no, it's very quick, very polite.
Very helpful.
Customer service, yeah. It's always clean. And then I think it's I want to say it's 4 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. 6 o'clock in the afternoon. They do a dance where all the staff team get together and they do a dance to The Hustle.
Just like that.
To The Hustle.
You've got Everything Pop, which is your restaurant and your shop sort of combined into one. It works really well. It's a nice, good sized shop. And you've obviously got your package pickup from there if you do send anything back to the resort. And then the food court is nice and spacious as well. You've got 3 drink stations, and then is it 5 different counters you can order food from?
Well, one of them's a dessert, isn't it? The other 4 are hot counters.
It's your basic sort of Disney food court food. You got your chicken nuggets, you got your burgers, you got your pizzas,
you got your sandwiches, you got your milkshakes, you got your cookie ice cream sandwich, you've got your salad bar, you've got other bits, pastas.
Yeah, so there's a good range there. But with you being so close to Art of Animation, definitely take a walk over there. Art of Animation is a great resort for its theming.
It's all cooked. No, Pop Century's food is all cooked fresh, but it's all prepared there and there for you, isn't it? It's not on display as such. The pizza.
This is Art of Animation.
Yeah, Art of Animation. Obviously, the pizza there. It's once it's put a pizza slice out for like 5 minutes or so, they chuck it. They throw it, but their waste does not just get thrown in landfill. They use it for fuel.
Running the buses.
Running the buses. So
other things.
So when you see people throw away food, it's not.
So a lot of Disney's waste
wastage.
is recycled into fuel of some sort.
Yeah,
whether it's running the buses or running the parks.
Yeah, because they have their own
Plant.
Yeah, power plant or whatever it is. But yeah, anyway, that's a different story.
There is a jogging route around Hourglass Lake, so you would go through Pop Century and through Art of Animation. And along the way through Pop, you've got like landmarks, dates of when things happened, and then Art of Animation. I think we've got a similar thing going. We don't jog, so we haven't read them all.
I was hoping to last year, wasn't I? But I didn't make it.
The Art of Animation was actually supposed to be a second half of Pop Century. Pop Century, as it is the classic years, but Art of Animation was actually meant to be the legendary years, so the 1900s, 1910, 20, 30, 40. So it was 2 parts. They started construction on that before 9/11, but then when 9/11 happened, construction stopped, and it was left abandoned for a while. So if you check out abandoned Disney Hotel on YouTube, and you've actually got people who've gone over there, videoed it, and sort of seen the empty shells of some of the buildings. And then obviously when they decided to reopen, they decided Pop Century wasn't worth carrying on with, and they opened Art of Animation, which I think was a good call.
Yeah.
It is a great hotel.
It's very fresh, and in their pool, they've got music there.
Yeah, they've got speakers under the water in the big blue pool.
Yeah. But going back to Pop Century, obviously they've had all fences around their pools now.
Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing at all, really.
No. The bedrooms, they're what you need. They either come with a king size bed or 2 double beds, and then obviously you've got the bathroom and everything. They're all pretty standard. I think all the Disney rooms are pretty standard. Sort of what we've seen in like moderate hotels and deluxe hotels, they're pretty much the same sort of layout.
We did say, I can't remember which hotel it was. A moderate, wasn't it, or was it a bit higher up?
But they're pretty much all the same style. It's
And
just
it was
they
exactly
vary
the
in
same.
size.
Yeah, exactly the same. There was, apart from it had an extra sink, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was the only difference. And for you sleep in a room, you don't have a party in there, or the characters come and in your room, do they? You know, you're there to sleep, get changed, go off out. So, for the sake of 8 hours sleep or whatever, how many hours you get, it does us. We're always out at early dawn in the morning. So the rooms are just, you know, you've got a safe in there, you've got an iron, you've got a hairdryer.
It's got your sink, your bath, your shower, your toilet.
So that's a hairdresser.
Not one of them.
No, 2 double beds, but you can request a king size bed. You've got table, you've got chairs, you've got TV, you've got cabinets, drawers.
You've got everything you need. So, and then actually later this year, Pop Century are meant to be going under a refurb as well, so the rooms will be updated. We'll put some pictures in, sort of what we've got of the room, but we'll be changing this year.
Yeah. What else can we say?
The bus stop really is the only thing we haven't covered. It's all in one spot. So
I'm hungry.
there's a station. Hold on. So they're all in one spot. They're all together. You've got a bus stop for each park, which some resorts don't. They just have one station and each bus pulls up. So everyone's quite well behaved and queues well. But yeah, that's everything. So don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. All the links are below. Stay tuned for Thursday when we'll have another video up from our September trip. And if you haven't checked us out before, go back and take a look at what else we've been up to.
Yeah, it's all in the playlist, so it's easy for you guys to watch. Okay, right guys, I'll see you next week. Right, take care.
Bye.
Bye.